Could the Apple Watch be banned from sale from this Thursday? The next iPads could get MagSafe charging and mounting. And Qualcomm beats the M3 with the Snapdragon X Elite. Want the latest Apple news, leaks and rumours? Subscribe and ring the bell. Yes, you heard it right. As of this Thursday at 3 PM Eastern Time, Apple Watch 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2 will be removed from sale online by Apple in the US. I'll not bore you with every detail because everyone else has already done that, but it's basically due to a patent dispute with Masimo, a company apparently incapable of properly sizing their own logo on their website over the non-invasive blood oxygen monitoring sensor. Now, there's a chance that President Biden will veto the import ban, but it's a very slim chance, and if that doesn't happen, the watches will also leave Apple's brick-and-mortar store shelves on Christmas Eve with no real idea when they might return. Now, as this is technically an import ban, third-party retailers should be able to sell through any stock they have on hand, I think. But if I've misunderstood this, the feature first arrived with the Apple Watch 6, so there could be a lot more watches leaving their shelves. And that might even include retailers selling used models. Now, bear in mind, the Apple Watch SE doesn't feature the sensor, so it is able to remain on sale, but the 9 and the Ultra 2, both gone. So if you do want an Apple Watch, probably don't put it off too long. They make a great Christmas present too, if that's the thing that you're into, and I've included links to buy them while they're still available down in the comments. And yes, they're affiliate links, so you'll also be giving me a little Christmas present as well. But I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What are your thoughts? And then, the iPad Pro is due an update in 2024, as are all of the other iPads, given that Apple completely forgot that they made them this year. Now, we'll come on to what I have my eye on as my next iPad purchase later in the show, but we are expecting updates to the iPad Air, including a larger size option, a new base model iPad, and the iPad Mini, all to get updates. But for now, let's focus on that iPad Pro. The Pro is set to get a full redesign, this time being circular with grab handles on the back. No, not really. It'll still be a glass rectangle, but we're hearing that it might also gain MagSafe charging, which might hint to other changes too. Back in 2021, Mark Gurman reported that Apple was working on a glass back design that would allow Apple's iPhone puck-style chargers to work with the Pro iPads. If this is still the design direction that Apple is going to go with, that could allow the iPads to be mounted using the same magnets and charge at the same time. Apple could well expand the MagSafe standard as well to work with iPads, so mounts for iPads could have a larger outer magnet pattern, and if that was based on the size of the iPad Mini, that would fit inside any size iPad, so you could kind of have a universal mount, which would be great. That can also charge, and maybe even that could be on desk arm mounts, maybe even dashboard mounts with a CarPlay interface built into the iPad that could be retrofitted basically to any older car for navigation and audio while keeping the iPad secure, charged, and easily removed from view to take with you or to stow when you leave the vehicle. Why hasn't Apple done this yet? Of course, since the return of the MagSafe name with the iPhone, we've also had higher powered MagSafe come to the Mac with its direct pin charge connection. Now, this does allow faster charging, but unlike a lot of the online outlets, I don't think that's the way that Apple is going to go here. Could we get our first waterproof iPad? That'd be really good. I think people would read in the bath on their iPads. And yes, MagSafe can deliver way more to a Mac, but the Puck MagSafe chargers do deliver a peak of 15 watts, and the wall adapter that ships with a new iPad delivers only 20 watts, so that's not a massive delta for wired versus MagSafe charging. And remember, if you're sticking to an iPad, it to an iPad stand, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be there for a while. Now, Apple's M3 processor, if pinned at 100%, will consume between 20 and 21 watts, but the thing is, you know in your heart that even iPad Pro power users are not pinning that thing when you're watching YouTube or doom scrolling Reddit on the crapper. Pinning the M3 at 100% is not even like video editing, it's the rendering of the very high quality video with LUTs, effects, and all the other hard stuff that Max Tech would throw at it for 6 to 10 days to get it to warm up. Most of the time you'll be in the 10 to 20% range, so 15 watts from a MagSafe charger just constantly trickling in there is going to be absolutely fine. Stop worrying about it. So I think we're going to see the glass back. I think we're going to see slightly less prominent bezels, just slightly thinner, but not zero bezels. And I think the new Apple Pencil with USB-C but still magnetic attachment suggests that magnetic charging might be done, meaning that the FaceTime camera can finally move to the side like Apple's cheapest iPad, because Apple clearly thinks we all use iPads in horizontal mode most of the time, and they're probably right. Or maybe we even get one on the side and one on the top. The iPad Pro pricing can certainly carry that cost, along with the OLED displays that we're expecting too this year. But let me know your thoughts. And then, Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite is reportedly up to 21% faster than Apple's M3. Wow. But, wait, is everything as it seems? No, of course it's not. That's mainly because this is consuming 80 watts of energy, while the M3, as we've just mentioned, is sipping about 20, so if the same battery was powering both, Qualcomm would be dead in about 4 hours, while the M3 carried on for about 18. Also, the Snapdragon will be powering Windows-based machines, while M3 powers the more efficient macOS, and of course, Qualcomm is running ARM cores, so that the standard Windows advantage of all those games that you can play is pretty much lost, because they probably won't run on ARM cores, as last time I checked, Windows didn't have anything of the caliber of Apple's Rosetta 2 to translate x86 code into ARM64 code. Oh, and of course, the X Elite is their fastest chip, and Apple's already got the M3 Pro and the M3 Max that will annihilate it in a much closer power window. So they've got a little way to go, but it's nice to see something getting a little bit closer to Apple's M chips. It was just getting kind of embarrassing for Intel, honestly. Now, into your iCave Answers, where I answer your questions from the comments, because that's just the kind of guy I am. Pokemon Scarlet asks, do you think that Apple making 2 versions of the AirPods Pro 4th Gen is a good idea? If the 4th gen model looks like the current AirPods Pro, what direction will Apple go with for the AirPods Pro 3rd generation redesign in 2025? I don't think they're going to make them look like the AirPods Pro. I really hope they don't, because I don't want them to have the little rubbery grommets on the end. I dislike that immensely. I think they're horribly uncomfortable. But we are hearing that there's potentially going to be noise cancelling in these buds. I'm not also convinced that there's going to be 2 discrete versions of the 4th generation AirPods. There might be 2 prototypes in use at the moment, or there might be a premium and a budget version like an SE to maybe replace the 2nd gen that we have knocking around right now. That would be my thought. I can't imagine they will keep all of those. But yeah, I don't think they're going to replace what the Pros do, and if anything, the Pro will probably pick up that lossless audio for a lot more devices rather than just being for Vision Pro, hopefully with some sort of Wi-Fi. And maybe we'll even get AirPods Max that can do lossless as well. Wouldn't that be nice? Pokemon Scarlet asks, what is your update on the notchless iPhone? What year and which model of iPhone will we get an all-screen iPhone? I think we're probably looking at least 2026. I'm not a big advocate of this kind of screen over camera, because everything that's been done so far, the cameras look atrocious because of it. If Apple can make that, great, brilliant. But if they can't, I'd rather keep a cutout, keep Face ID, keep really good cameras on both sides. That's far more important to me than having a all-screen design that just makes other things worse. Pokemon Scarlet asks, I'm going on vacation, what tech should I pack? What are your recommendations, and what do you usually pack? I'm going to Mexico. Obviously, you're going to need your iPhone because you want that in your pocket for your photographs. I think take an iPad. I don't think you need a laptop unless you've got to do work while you're there. The iPad is far more fun, so you can, use it for reading by the pool. You can use it for watching content when you're back in your room in the evenings, and you can use it for a whole bunch of other stuff. The iPad is the fun product. The Mac is kind of the workhorse. That's the way that I see it. You could have a different opinion. That's what I'd go with. Also, just make sure your charging tech is all your ducks are in a row, so make sure you've got your Apple Watch chargers. If you can get a 3-in-1 charging mount like the one that I currently use, that's really, really good. It's a single USB-C cable that charges your iPhone via MagSafe, your Apple Watch and your AirPods wirelessly. I think these are great. They pack down really small, and it reduces the amount of stuff you need to take with you. That's my picks. And take a power extension cable as well, because a lot of hotels don't put power outlets by the beds, which is insanity, because that's where we want to charge our stuff. Pokemon Scarlet asks, will you be buying the new 12.9-inch iPad Air? Why or why not? I will not, and I'll tell you for why. Because the iPad is a thing that you should be able to take with you, and 12.9 inches is too big, and when you do get to that kind of size with an iPad, we've seen with the iPad Pros in the past, they can bend, they can flex, because they're not super duper rigid, because it's aluminium on the back. So I'm thinking iPad Mini. It's great for gaming. If it's got an I'm hoping it's going to get a more recent processor, so maybe an A15 and A16 maybe would be really good. That's probably what I'm going to go with. I don't want an iPad that's going to become a desktop. I just want something I can take with me, chuck in my pocket, and take it on the go. And Evan Rogers asks, what is the best holiday movie Happy Christmas, bud. Thank you, Evan, and happy Christmas to all of you. And the best Christmas movie is Spirited, the Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell one that was on Apple TV. It got released last year. It is hilarious. It's very, very well done. Really good music. They've put it out in theatres this year. If you can get to go and see it in a theatre, probably be really fun, especially if they do a sing-along version. That's great. And good afternoon to you all. And thank you all for watching. Thanks to the Patreons for your support on the channel. If you want to give me a Christmas present by becoming a Patreon, iCaveDave.com/Patreon. I make it as easy as I can. Thank you all, and we will see you in the next one. Want the latest Apple news, leaks, and rumours? Subscribe and ring the bell. And thank you all for watching.